Welcome to Apex Atlas. Today we head to the heartbeat of the Caribbean. Jamaica is an island small in size but giant in impact. We are starting our 200-fact journey through Jamaica, a land of rebels, legends, and one love. The original name, long before it was Jamaica, the indigenous Taino people called it Jamaica. In their Arawakan language, it means land of wood and water, a perfect description of its lush forests and 120 rivers. The flag's distinction, the Jamaican flag, black, green, and gold, is currently the only national flag in the world that does not contain the colors red, white, or blue. Flag symbolism: the colors are poetic, hardships there are, but the land is green and the sun shineth. Black represents the strength and creativity of the people, gold for the natural beauty of the sunlight, and green for agricultural resources. Independence Day. Jamaica gained its independence from British colonial rule on August 6, 1962. Like Ghana, it remains a member of the Commonwealth. The motto, the national motto, is "Out of many, one people." This reflects the island's multiracial roots, blending African, European, Chinese, Indian, and Middle Eastern heritage into a single identity. The capital, Kingston, is the capital and largest city. It was founded in 1692 after a massive earthquake destroyed the previous wickedest city on earth, Port Royal. The highest peak, the Blue Mountains, dominate the eastern part of the island. The highest point is Blue Mountain Peak, standing at 2,256 meters, 7,402 feet. On a very clear day, you can actually see the outline of Cuba from the top. The national bird, known locally as the doctor bird, the red-billed streamertail, is a hummingbird found only in Jamaica. Its long, flowing tail feathers and iridescent colors make it one of the most beautiful birds in the world. The national flower, the lignum vitae, Latin for wood of life. It was chosen for its medicinal properties and its extremely heavy, durable wood, so dense it actually sinks in water. The national tree, the blue maho. It is famous for the blue-green streaks in its wood and is used extensively for making fine furniture and musical instruments. The national fruit, the ackee. Originally brought from West Africa, it's related to the lychee. It is now the star of Jamaica's national dish. However, you have to be careful. If eaten before it naturally opens on the tree, it can be toxic. The first people, the Taino people, were the first inhabitants. They were skilled farmers and fishers who lived in communal societies before the arrival of Christopher Columbus in 1494. Columbus's arrival. Christopher Columbus described Jamaica as the fairest island that eyes have beheld. He actually spent a full year shipwrecked on the north coast of the island in 1503. The British conquest. Jamaica was a Spanish colony for over 150 years until the British captured it in 1655. It remained a British colony for over 300 years. The Maroons. Jamaica has a fierce history of resistance. The Maroons were escaped enslaved Africans who fled into the mountainous interior. They fought two major wars against the British and eventually won their autonomy, forming sovereign communities that still exist today. Nanny of the Maroons, she is Jamaica's only national heroine. A brilliant military strategist, she led the Windward Maroons in the 18th century and is said to have used supernatural obeah powers to protect her people. The currency, the Jamaican dollar, JMD. Since 1969, the island has used its own dollar, which currently features the portraits of national heroes and former prime ministers. The size: Jamaica is the third largest island in the Caribbean, roughly 10,991 square kilometers. You can drive across the entire island in about 4 to 5 hours. The language: while English is the official language, the heart of the island speaks Jamaican patois or patois. It's a vibrant, rhythmic English African Creole that is a language of resistance and soul. The spirit of one love, though popularized by Bob Marley, one love is a philosophy rooted in the island's struggle for unity and peace. It's the unofficial welcome to every traveler who steps off the plane. The Baptist War, Christmas Rebellion in 1831. A deacon named Samuel Sharp led one of the largest slave rebellions in the British Empire. Though it was suppressed, the sheer scale of the revolt played a massive role in the British Parliament passing the Slavery Abolition Act just 2 years later. The 1834 Emancipation. Slavery was officially abolished in Jamaica on August 1, 1834. Today, Emancipation Day is a major public holiday, often celebrated with vigils and traditional drumming to honor the ancestors' freedom. The Morant Bay Rebellion. In 1865, Paul Bogle led a march for justice and fair land use that turned into a historic uprising. This event led to a massive shift in how Jamaica was governed and cemented Bogle as a national hero. The 7 national heroes. Jamaica officially recognizes 7 people who shaped the nation: Nanny of the Maroons, Sam Sharp, Paul Bogle, George William Gordon, Marcus Garvey, Norman Manley, and Alexander Bustamante. Marcus Garvey's prophecy. In the 1920s, black nationalist leader Marcus Garvey famously said, "Look to Africa, when a black king shall be crowned, for the day of deliverance is at hand." Many in Jamaica took this literally when Haile Selassie I was crowned Emperor of Ethiopia in 1930. The birth of Rastafari. Following that prophecy, the Rastafari movement was born in the slums of Kingston in the 1930s. It wasn't just a religion, it was a social movement that rejected Babylon, oppression, and looked towards Zion, Africa. Haile Selassie's visit. In April 1966, the emperor himself visited Jamaica. The ground at the airport was so crowded with thousands of Rastafarians that he reportedly wept at the sight of such devotion. This day is still celebrated as Grunation Day. The first music, mento. Long before reggae, there was mento. It's a folk style using acoustic instruments like the banjo, guitar, and the rumba box, a large thumb piano. It sounds a bit like calypso and often features witty, humorous lyrics. The evolution of sound. Jamaican music moved fast. It went from mento to ska, fast, upbeat horn sections, to rock steady, slower, more soulful, and finally, in the late 1960s, to reggae. What is reggae? The name reggae first appeared in print in the 1968 song Do the Reggae by Toots and the Maytals. It is characterized by its heavy bass lines and the skank, staccato chords played on the offbeat. Bob Marley, the planetary icon, born in 9 Mile, St. Anne, Robert Nesta Marley became the face of reggae. His album Legend is the best-selling reggae album of all time, with over 75 million copies sold worldwide. The One Love Peace concert. In 1978, during a time of intense political violence in Jamaica, Bob Marley famously brought the leaders of the 2 warring political parties, Michael Manley and Edward Seager, onto the stage to shake hands in front of the nation. Tough Gong. This was Bob Marley's nickname, meaning a tough person who is like a gong or bell. It also became the name of his legendary recording studio in Kingston, which is still a major tourist destination today. Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailer. While Marley is the most famous, the original Wailers were a trio. Peter Tosh, the rebel, and Bunny Wailer, the mystic, were equally instrumental in defining the sound and philosophy of roots reggae. The drum and bass duo. No discussion of Jamaican music is complete without Sly and Robbie. The drummer Sly Dunbar and bassist Robbie Shakespeare played on an estimated 200,000 tracks, influencing almost every genre of modern music. Sound system culture. In the 1950s, Jamaicans who couldn't afford expensive radios created sound systems, massive walls of speakers on the back of trucks. This culture of mobile street parties birthed DJing and toasting, rapping over beats. The roots of hip-hop. In the 1970s, a Jamaican-born DJ named Kool Herc moved to the Bronx, New York. He brought the Jamaican sound system style and toasting with him, effectively becoming the founding father of hip-hop. Dreadlocks and liberty. For many Rastas, wearing hair in dreadlocks is a spiritual vow based on the biblical Nazarite oath, never cutting one's hair. It is part of liberty, the concept of living in harmony with nature and Jah, God. Ital food. Rastafarians follow a diet called ital, derived from the word vital. It is usually salt-free, strictly vegetarian or vegan, and emphasizes eating food from the earth without chemicals. The ganja sacrament. While controversial to some, Rastafarians view ganja, marijuana, as a holy herb or sacrament. They use it for reasoning sessions to help clear the mind and connect to a higher spiritual consciousness. Dunn's River Falls. This is Jamaica's most iconic natural landmark. Located in Ocho Rios, it is one of the very few travertine waterfalls in the world that empties directly into the sea. Tourists and locals alike form human chains to climb its 600-foot natural limestone stairs. The Blue Mountain Coffee. Grown at altitudes between 2,000 and 5,000 feet, Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee is one of the rarest and most expensive coffees in the world. The unique misty climate and volcanic soil give it a mild, non-bitter taste that is highly prized in Japan. The Luminous Lagoon. In Falmouth, Trelawney, there is a rare bay filled with dinoflagellates, microscopic organisms that glow a brilliant neon blue when the water is disturbed. It is one of only a handful of places on Earth where this phenomenon happens every night. The Cockpit Country. This is a rugged, cast limestone plateau in the center of the island. It is a maze of steep-sided hills and deep cockpits, valleys, that made it nearly impossible for the British to navigate, allowing the Maroons to hide and thrive there for centuries. Green Grotto Caves. These large limestone caves were once a hideout for Spaniards fleeing the British and later for smugglers. Today, they are famous for their subterranean lake and their appearance in the James Bond film Live and Let Die. 7 Mile Beach. Located in Negril, this world-famous stretch of white sand is actually slightly less than 7 miles long, but its uninterrupted coastline and stunning sunsets make it a top destination for travelers worldwide. Rick's Cafe. Perched on the cliffs of Negril, this is one of the world's most famous bars. It's legendary for its cliff divers, locals and tourists who leap from platforms up to 35 feet high into the crystal-clear Caribbean Sea. The Rio Grande Rafting. Originally used to transport bananas from the interior to the coast, bamboo rafting on the Rio Grande in Portland became a tourist pastime after movie star Errol Flynn started racing his friends down the river in the 1940s. Blue Hole. Ocho Rios, not to be confused with the Blue Lagoon. This secret falls is a series of natural mineral pools and waterfalls tucked away in the mountains. It's famous for its deep azure water and rope swings. The Blue Lagoon, located in Port Antonio, this 200-foot deep lagoon is a mix of fresh spring water and salt water. It is famously bottomless, according to local myth, and changes color from sapphire to emerald throughout the day. YS Falls, located on the quieter south coast, this is a magnificent 7-tiered waterfall. It is situated on a working cattle and horse farm, offering a more serene, off-the-beaten-path experience than the busier north coast. Milk River Bath, this radioactive mineral spring in Clarendon is said to have the highest radioactivity of any mineral bath in the world, even more than the famous baths in Europe. It is world-renowned for its ability to treat ailments like rheumatism and arthritis. Hell's Higher Beach, famous among locals in St. Catherine, this beach is the spiritual home of fried fish and bami. The sand is a darker, volcanic color, and the atmosphere is pure Jamaican vibes with dozens of thatched-roof seafood shacks. The Great Morass, Jamaica has several morasses, wetlands. The Black River Lower Morass is the largest freshwater wetland in the Caribbean and is home to the American crocodile. Black River Safari, you can take a boat tour up the Black River, named for the dark bed of decomposing vegetation, to see the crocodiles basking on the banks and mangrove trees with roots that look like giant spiders. The giant swallowtail butterfly, found only in the Cockpit Country and Blue Mountains, this is the largest butterfly in the Western Hemisphere, with a wingspan of up to 6 inches. Endemic species, Jamaica has a high rate of endemism. Over 900 species of flowering plants and 30 species of birds, like the doctor bird, are found nowhere else on the planet. Fern Gully, this scenic 3-mile road in Ocho Rios was established after an earthquake destroyed a riverbed. It is a natural tunnel of over 300 species of ferns that tower over the road, blocking out most of the sunlight. Dolphin Cove, near Dunn's River Falls, this is a natural cove where visitors can swim with bottlenose dolphins in their natural Caribbean Sea environment rather than a man-made tank. The Alligator Pond, despite the name, you won't find many alligators here. It's a quiet fishing village on the south coast famous for Little Loki, a restaurant where you pick your fresh catch straight from the fishermen's boats. The origin of jerk. Jerk isn't just a seasoning, it's a survival tactic. It was developed by the Maroons, who seasoned meat with salt, peppers, and spices, then slow-cooked it in pits underground to prevent smoke from giving away their location to the British. Pimento wood, the secret ingredient. True Jamaican jerk must be smoked over pimento wood, allspice. The berries are used in the rub, but the wood itself provides the distinctive smoky, earthy flavor that defines the dish. The national dish, ackee and saltfish. The ackee, a fruit that looks like scrambled eggs when cooked, is sautéed with salted cod, onions, tomatoes, and Scotch bonnet peppers. It's traditionally eaten for breakfast with boiled green bananas and dumplings. Scotch bonnet peppers, this is the heat behind the flavor. Named for its resemblance to a tam o'shanter hat, this pepper is famous for its smoky fruity profile and a heat level that ranges from 100,000 to 350,000 Scoville units. Patty culture. The Jamaican patty is the ultimate grab-and-go meal. It's a flaky, turmeric yellow pastry crust filled with seasoned ground beef, chicken, or saltfish. It was heavily influenced by the Cornish pasty brought over by British settlers. Cocoa bread. If you want the full experience, you sandwich your patty inside a folded piece of cocoa bread. It's a soft, slightly sweet, starchy bread made with coconut milk that perfectly balances the spice of the patty. Red Stripe beer, Jamaica's most famous export in a bottle. Known for its iconic stubby Steiny bottle, this pale lager has been brewed in Kingston since 1928 and is a staple at every beach party. Appleton Estate Rum, Jamaica is world-renowned for its rum. Appleton Estate has been producing handcrafted rum since 1749, making it one of the oldest sugar estates and distilleries in the world. Rum fire and overproof, Jamaicans often prefer overproof white rum. At 63% alcohol, 126 proof, it is incredibly potent and is used not just for drinking, but for cleaning wounds, warding off duppies, ghosts, and traditional ceremonies. Escovitch fish, a favorite for beach days. It involves frying a whole fish, usually red snapper, and dousing it in a spicy vinegar-based dressing made with onions, carrots, and pimento berries. Curry goat, a must-have at any Jamaican party or nine-night wake. This dish highlights the Indian influence on the island. The meat is slow-cooked until it's falling off the bone in a rich, yellow curry sauce. Rice and peas, often called the Jamaican coat of arms, this is a Sunday staple. Important note, it is never called rice and beans. It's cooked with coconut milk, scallions, thyme, and peas, which are actually kidney beans or gungo peas. Bami, this is a traditional Taino flatbread made from cassava. It is soaked in coconut milk and then fried or steamed. It's the perfect, chewy accompaniment to fried fish. Festival, a sweet, deep-fried cornmeal dumpling. It's called Festival because it's so tasty it makes you feel like you're at a party. It is the classic side dish for jerk chicken. Irish moss. Despite the name, this is a popular Jamaican drink made from seaweed, carrageenan, boiled down with milk, cinnamon, and nutmeg. It's famously touted as an aphrodisiac and energy booster. Blue Mountain tea. While coffee is famous, Jamaicans are heavy tea drinkers. However, tea can mean anything hot, from chocolate tea, made from raw cocoa balls, to bush tea made from wild herbs like lemongrass or mint. Stamped and go, a funny name for a delicious snack. These are saltfish fritters, seasoned with scallions and peppers and deep-fried until crunchy. Manish water, a spicy soup made from goat's head and entrails, believed to give men extra power. It's a staple at traditional weddings and celebrations. Grapefruit soda, a beloved local soft drink made with real Jamaican grapefruit juice. It's crisp, tart, and the go-to mixer for white rum, a combination known as a ray and ting. Otahite apple, a deep red, pear-shaped fruit with a refreshing, white, waxy interior. It was brought to the island from the Pacific by Captain Bligh in 1793. Usain Bolt, the greatest of all time. Born in Sherwood Content, Trelawney, Usain St. Leo Bolt is the fastest man in history. He holds the world records for the 100m 9.58s and the 200m 19.19s, both set in Berlin in 2009. The lightning bolt pose, known globally as to DI World, Bolt's signature celebratory pose, one arm pointed to the sky, became a cultural phenomenon seen on every continent after his 2008 Olympic sweep. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, known as the Pocket Rocket, she is one of the most decorated sprinters ever. She has won more 100-meter world championship titles than any other person, male or female, and is celebrated for her incredible longevity and colorful wigs. The champs phenomenon. The secret to Jamaica's speed is the inter-secondary schools boys and girls championships, simply known as champs. It is a 4-day high school track meet that fills the national stadium with 30,000 screaming fans. It is more intense than most international Grand Prix. Malene Orty, the queen of the track. She was the first English-speaking Caribbean woman to win an Olympic medal. She competed in a record 7 Olympic Games and earned the nickname Bronze Queen before finally grabbing gold. The 2012 clean sweep. At the London 2012 Olympics, Jamaica achieved a historic 1-2-3 finish in the men's 200-meter, Bolt, Blake, and Weir, proving that the island didn't just have one champion, but an entire podium of them. The Cool Runnings legend. In 1988, Jamaica shocked the world by sending a bobsleigh team to the Winter Olympics in Calgary. Their story was so inspiring it was turned into the Disney classic Cool Runnings. The team remains a symbol of Jamaican can-do spirit. Cricket is the first love. While track gets the glory now, cricket was traditionally the island's most popular sport. Jamaica is a key part of the West Indies cricket team, and Sabina Park in Kingston is one of the world's most legendary cricket grounds. The Universe boss, Chris Gayle, born in Kingston, is a global cricket icon. Known as the Universe boss, he is famous for his massive sixes and his larger-than-life personality in the T20 format. The Reggae Boys, the national football team, made history in 1998 by becoming the first English-speaking Caribbean nation to qualify for the FIFA World Cup. Their signature yellow and green kits are still a global fashion favorite. The Reggae Girls, Jamaica's women's football team, has recently eclipsed the men's success, becoming the first Caribbean nation to qualify for back-to-back Women's World Cups, 2019 and 2023, reaching the knockout stages in 2023. George Headley. Long before Bolt, there was Headley. Known as the Black Bradman, he was one of the greatest cricketers of the 1930s and a symbol of black excellence during the colonial era. Boxing heritage. Jamaica has a deep boxing history. Mike McCallum, known as the Body Snatcher, is a 3-weight world champion and is widely regarded as one of the most technically gifted boxers of the 1980s. Herb McKinley. He is the only man to have ever reached the Olympic finals in the 100m, 200m, and 400m. He was a founding father of Jamaica's track and field dominance. Netball, the Sunshine Girls. Jamaica's national netball team is consistently ranked in the top 4 in the world, often beating nations like England and New Zealand despite having far fewer resources. The G.C. Foster College. This is the only physical education and sports college of its kind in the Caribbean. Most of Jamaica's top coaches are trained here, specializing in the science of speed. The Yam Myth. Usain Bolt's father famously joked that his son's speed came from eating Trelawney yams. While it's a joke, nutritionists have actually studied the Jamaican diet, rich in ground provisions, to see if it contributes to athletic performance. Asifa Powell, the sub-10 king. Before Bolt, Asifa Powell was the world record holder. He has run more legal sub-10 second 100m races, nearly 100 times, than any other human being in history. Elaine Thompson-Herah, the first woman in history to complete a double-double, winning both the 100m and 200-meter gold medals at consecutive Olympics, Rio 2016 and Tokyo 2020. The spirit of play. In Jamaica, sports are played everywhere. On the beach, in the streets, street cricket, and in every schoolyard. It's not just about winning, it's about vibes and bragging rights. The birth of dancehall. Named after the physical dance halls where people gathered, this genre emerged in the late 70s. It shifted away from the religious themes of roots reggae toward a more digital, energetic sound focused on inner-city life, dancing, and slackness, adult themes. Yellowman, the first superstar. In the 1980s, King Yellowman became the first dancehall artist to be signed to a major American label. He proved that dancehall could have massive commercial appeal outside the Caribbean. The riddim concept. In Jamaican music, a riddim is an instrumental track. One producer will create a riddim, and dozens of different artists will record their own songs on that same beat. This is why you'll hear the same instrumental with 20 different versions. Dancehall Queen, DHQ. This is a serious title. The annual International Dancehall Queen competition sees women from all over the world compete in Kingston, showcasing incredible athletic moves like the head top, spinning on one's head. VYBZ Cartel and the Gaza. Even from prison, VYBZ Cartel remains one of the most influential figures in Jamaican culture. He led the Gaza movement, which sparked a massive, and sometimes tense, rivalry with the Gully Side led by Mavado in the 2000s. Slang, the language of patois. Jamaican patois is constantly evolving. A word like broughter means a little bit extra, like a free sample, and little more is the standard way to say goodbye. It literally means see you later. Dash it way. This is a popular phrase meaning to throw something away or get rid of it. If a song isn't good, the crowd might tell the DJ to dash it way. The screw face. This is the quintessential Jamaican look of serious, cool intensity. It's not about being angry, it's about standing your ground and looking tough in the face of hardship. Clark's shoes. There is a bizarre and fascinating love affair between Jamaica and the British shoe brand Clark's. Since the 60s, desert boots and wallabies have been the ultimate status symbol in the dancehall. The whine, waistline in Jamaica. To whine is to rotate the hips rhythmically to the music. It's an art form that requires incredible core strength and is the foundation of most Caribbean dance. Street dances. Every night in Kingston, there is a street dance. These are free parties held on corners or in parking lots, where the latest dance moves, like the log-on or signal DI plane, are invented on the spot. The selector versus the DJ. In Jamaica, the selector is the one who chooses the records, but the DJ, or DJ, is the one who talks or raps over the music. This is the opposite of how the terms are used in the US. Dub plates. A dub plate is a special version of a song where the artist records a custom shout-out to a specific sound system. Sound systems compete in sound clashes to see who has the best collection of these exclusive tracks. Bounty Killer, the Poor People Governor. A legend of the 90s, Bounty Killer is known for his cross, angry, and miserable persona, but he is also credited with mentoring almost every major star in the industry today. Sean Paul, the global ambassador. Sean Paul took dancehall to the top of the Billboard charts in the early 2000s with hits like Get Busy. He is one of the most commercially successful Jamaican artists of all time. The Badder Dan culture. This refers to the competitive nature of Jamaican life. Whether it's fashion, dancing, or music, everyone wants to be Badder Dan, better than the rest. Skanking. This is the traditional dance style associated with ska and reggae. It involves a running man type of leg movement and punching the air in time with the beat. The impact on pop. From Rihanna and Drake to Justin Bieber, modern pop music is heavily infused with dancehall rhythms and Jamaican patois, proving the island's outsized influence on global ears. Zessa and the New Wave, newer subgenres and styles are always emerging, blending dancehall with trap and Afrobeats, showing that the Jamaican sound never stays still. Respect. In Jamaica, respect isn't just a word, it's a greeting, a thank you, and a sign of recognition. It is the social glue that keeps the community tight. Port Royal, the wickedest city on earth. In the 17th century, Port Royal was the headquarters for the world's most notorious pirates and privateers, including Henry Morgan. It was known as the wealthiest and most sinful city in the West until a massive earthquake in 1692 sent 2/3 of it sinking into the sea. The sunken city. Today, Port Royal is an underwater archaeological treasure. The portions of the city that sank remain almost perfectly preserved under the silt of Kingston Harbor, like a Caribbean Pompeii. Giddy House, located in Port Royal, this old Royal Artillery house was tilted at a sharp 45-degree angle during an earthquake in 1907. Walking inside is a disorienting experience that makes visitors feel like they've lost their sense of balance. The White Witch of Rose Hall, Jamaica's most famous ghost story. Legend says Annie Palmer, the White Witch, murdered 3 husbands and countless lovers at Rose Hall Great House in Montego Bay using black magic and voodoo before being killed by a slave named Taku. Fact versus fiction. While the legend of Annie Palmer is a staple of Jamaican tours, historians believe much of the story was fictionalized in the 20th century. However, visitors still report seeing a lady in white on the balcony at night. Spanish Town, the ancient capital. Before Kingston, there was Villa de la Vega, now Spanish Town. Founded in 1534, it served as the capital for both the Spanish and the British for over 300 years. It houses the National Archives and some of the oldest buildings in the New World. The Iron Bridge, located in Spanish Town and built in 1801, this is the oldest cast iron bridge in the Western Hemisphere. It was prefabricated in England and shipped to Jamaica piece by piece. Devon House, built in 1881, this was the home of George Steeble, Jamaica's first black millionaire. It is a stunning example of Jamaican Georgian architecture and is now world famous for its ice cream, ranked by National Geographic as one of the best in the world. Firefly, Noel Coward's Escape. The famous British playwright Noel Coward lived and was buried at his estate, Firefly. The site offers one of the most spectacular views of the coastline and was reportedly a favorite lookout spot for the pirate Henry Morgan. GoldenEye, where Bond was born. Author Ian Fleming wrote all 14 James Bond novels at his estate, GoldenEye, in Oricabessa. He named the famous spy after the author of the book Birds of the West Indies, which he had on his desk. Columbus Park, located in Discovery Bay, this open-air museum marks the spot where Christopher Columbus is believed to have first stepped foot on the island in 1494. Seville Great House, one of the most significant historical sites on the island, it marks the spot of the first Spanish capital, Sevilla la Nueva. It serves as a powerful museum documenting the lives of the Taino, Spanish, British, and enslaved Africans. The legend of the Golden Table, a popular Jamaican folklore tells of a solid gold table that resides at the bottom of certain rivers, like the Rio Coba. It supposedly rises to the surface at midday, but anyone who tries to capture it is pulled under. Green Grotto Caves, the hideout. These caves served as a refuge for the Taino people, a hideout for Spanish settlers fleeing the British, and even a secret storeroom for rum barrels during World War II. The Flat Bridge, a narrow, railing-less bridge that spans the Rio Coba. It is a marvel of 18th century engineering, built by enslaved labor. Local legend says it is guarded by a mermaid who lives in the deep pool below. Admiral Lord Nelson's quarterdeck. Before he was a British naval hero, Horatio Nelson was stationed at Fort Charles in Port Royal. You can still walk the wooden platform where he once paced, watching for French invaders. The Milk River Spa. This mineral bath is so naturally radioactive that it is considered one of the most potent in the world. Visitors are limited to 15-minute dips to ensure safety while they soak in the healing waters. Hall's Hall Great House, one of the oldest continuously inhabited houses in Jamaica. It was once owned by the family of Sir Henry de la Beche, the founder of the British Geological Survey. The Dupping Tree. In many Jamaican villages, specific cotton trees, silk cotton, are believed to be the dwelling places of duppies, ghosts. It is tradition never to cut one down without performing a ritual to appease the spirits. Lover's Leap, a 1,700-foot cliff on the south coast where, according to legend, two enslaved lovers jumped to their deaths rather than be separated by their master. A lighthouse now stands at the site, offering a view that stretches for miles. The inventor of the blood bank. While born in the US, Dr. Charles Drew, the father of the blood bank, had strong Jamaican roots. His father was a Jamaican immigrant, and his groundbreaking work in blood plasma saved countless lives during World War II. The godfather of hip-hop, we mentioned him briefly, but it's worth a deep dive. DJ Kool Herc, Clive Campbell, was born in Kingston. He took the Jamaican sound system concept to the Bronx and invented the breakbeat, effectively birthing hip-hop. The first black supermodel, Naomi Campbell, is of Jamaican descent. Her mother was born in Jamaica, and Naomi has always credited her Jamaican strength for her legendary 30-plus-year career at the top of the fashion world. Grace Jones, a true avant-garde icon. Born in Spanish Town, she became a world-class model, singer, and Bond girl. Her androgynous style and fierce Jamaican personality redefined what a pop star could look like in the 80s. The world's first global superstar. Many music historians argue that Bob Marley was the first artist from a third world nation to reach a level of global fame that transcended language, religion, and politics. Professor Anthony Chen, a Jamaican scientist who was part of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, that shared the Nobel Peace Prize with Al Gore in 2007 for their work on global warming. Canasaul, did you know Jamaica was a pioneer in medical marijuana? Scientists at the University of the West Indies developed Canasaul in the 1980s, a drug derived from cannabis used to treat glaucoma. The Rhodes Scholars. For its population size, Jamaica has produced an incredibly high number of Rhodes Scholars per capita, who go on to study at Oxford and lead global institutions. Pioneering tourism. The concept of the all-inclusive resort was perfected in Jamaica. The late Gordon Butch Stewart, founder of Sandals Resorts, turned Jamaica into the ultimate luxury blueprint for the rest of the world. Miss World dominance. Jamaica has won the Miss World title 4 times: Carol Joan Crawford, Joan MacDonald, Lisa Hanna, and Tony Ann Singh. For a small island, their beauty per square mile is off the charts. The bobsled innovation. Jamaica didn't just go to the Winter Olympics, they innovated. The team's presence forced the world to rethink sports inclusivity and led to the creation of the Cool Runnings brand, which still supports tropical athletes in winter sports today. The diaspora power. There are more Jamaicans living outside the island, around 3 million, than inside it. The Jamaican diaspora in London, New York, and Toronto is one of the most culturally influential migrant groups in the world. Kamala Harris, the first female vice president of the United States, has a direct Jamaican lineage. Her father, Donald J. Harris, is a Jamaican-born economist and Stanford professor. The Reggae Sunsplash, founded in 1978, this was the world's first major touring reggae festival. It set the blueprint for how music festivals, like Coachella or Glastonbury, are organized and marketed globally today. The Kingston Creative Hub, a modern movement, is transforming downtown Kingston into a massive open-air art gallery. Murals by local artists are turning inner-city areas into world-class tourism destinations for art lovers. Blue Mountain Coffee branding. Jamaica was one of the first countries to use geographical indication, GI, protection for its coffee, ensuring that only beans grown in a specific region of the Blue Mountains can carry the prestigious name. The Year of Return connection. Like Ghana, Jamaica is a major hub for the Back to Africa and ancestral tourism movements, with many Africans and members of the diaspora visiting the island to trace the Middle Passage history. Digital nomads. Jamaica was one of the first Caribbean islands to launch a Work from Paradise program, inviting global tech workers to live on the island while working remotely, boosting the local digital economy. Tessin Chin. She brought the Jamaican sound to mainstream American TV by winning Season 5 of The Voice, proving that Jamaican soul can dominate any vocal competition in the world. The No Problem philosophy. While it sounds like a tourist slogan, no problem, or everything Chris, is a genuine psychological resilience. Jamaicans are famous for finding humor and vibes even in the most difficult economic situations. The domino obsession. In Jamaica, dominoes is a high-contact sport. It's played with incredible speed and theatricality. To win, you don't just place the tile, you slam it on the table with enough force to wake the neighbors. The Pan Chicken Man. The best jerk chicken isn't found in fancy restaurants, it's at the side of the road in a converted oil drum. These Pan Chicken Men are late-night legends, serving up chicken with hard dough bread in aluminum foil. The Duppy culture. A duppy is a ghost or spirit. Many Jamaicans take them very seriously. It's common to hear stories of duppy conquerors or to see people scattering white rum at the corners of a new house to keep the spirits away. Everything is tea. In Jamaica, if it's hot and in a cup, it's tea. Fish tea is a spicy soup, chocolate tea is made from raw cocoa balls, and bush tea is any herbal infusion. You rarely just ask for tea without specifying what's in it. The white rum cure. Overproof white rum is the Jamaican Windex. It's used to cure colds, mixed with lime, rub on sore muscles, sanitize hands, and even bless a room. If you feel a sneeze coming on, someone will tell you to smell some rum. Street names. Almost everyone in Jamaica has a house name or alias that has nothing to do with their legal name. These are often based on physical traits or funny incidents. You might know a man for 20 years as Shorty or Buju without ever knowing his real name. The Nine Night. When a person passes away, the family hosts a 9-night wake. On the 9th night, it is believed the spirit of the deceased leaves the earth. It is a massive celebration with food, rum, and singing. It's more of a party than a funeral. The hand of the cook. Jamaicans believe in seasoning to the bone. If a meal is particularly delicious, they say the cook has a sweet hand. Pointy directions. If you ask a Jamaican for directions, don't just look at their hands. Many Jamaicans point with their lips, pouting in the direction you should go, while nodding their head. Soon come. This is the most famous Jamaican time phrase. If someone says they soon come, it could mean 5 minutes, 5 hours, or 5 days. It is a philosophy of patience. The roundabout rule: Jamaica drives on the left side of the road, a British legacy. But the real rule is that the driver who honks their horn the most or inches forward fastest usually gets the right of way. Hard dough bread. This is a thick, dense, heavy bread that is the perfect sponge for gravy. It is so sturdy you can practically use it as a pillow, and it is the only acceptable bread for a fried fish dinner. The cho sound. This is the universal Jamaican sound of frustration or dismissiveness. It's a sharp cho, usually followed by a man or woman. Sky juice, the ultimate childhood treat. It's a plastic bag filled with shaved ice and bright red syrup, often sold by vendors with a massive block of ice on a cart. You bite the corner of the bag and suck the syrup out. The big fish myth: if you go to the river and see a massive mullet or snapper that seems to be watching you, move away. Folklore says these are watchman fish guarding hidden pirate gold. Church and dance hall. Jamaica has the most churches per square mile of any country in the world, yet it also has a massive party culture. It is a land of Sunday morning worship and Saturday night dance hall. Baggy water. Long before plastic bottles were common, Jamaicans bought water in sealed plastic pouches. You bite the corner and squeeze. It's still the most satisfying way to hydrate on a hot day. The hush rule. In Jamaica, hush doesn't mean be quiet. It means I'm sorry for your trouble or I feel your pain. If you stub your toe, a Jamaican will say hush. Mango season. Between May and July, the island goes into a mango frenzy. There are dozens of varieties: East Indian, number 11, Julie, and Blackie. Everyone has a favorite, and debates about which is the best can get very heated. Walk good. This is a beautiful, traditional way to say goodbye. It means travel safely or may your path be blessed. UNESCO Creative City of Music. In 2015, Kingston was officially designated a UNESCO Creative City of Music. It recognizes that the city has birthed 6 distinct genres of music that have influenced the world. The Little London of the Caribbean, Savannah-la-Mar is often called Sav by locals. It's a town that has survived more hurricanes and fires than almost any other in the Caribbean, embodying the resilient nature of the Jamaican people. Reggae as intangible cultural heritage. In 2018, UNESCO added Jamaican reggae to its list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity, protecting it as a global treasure that promotes social justice and peace. Pioneering organic farming. Long before farm-to-table was a trend, the Rastafarian community in Jamaica practiced organic, chemical-free farming, preserving ancient seeds and natural irrigation techniques in the mountains. The world's best rum. Seriously, in international spirits competitions, Jamaican high-ester rums, the funky ones, are consistently ranked as the most complex in the world. Distilleries like Hamden Estate still use 18th century muck pits to create flavor profiles that can't be replicated anywhere else. The giant Jamaican owl. This is a rare, endemic bird that only lives in the remote forests of the island. It has a haunting, deep hoot that many locals associate with spirit stories in the mountains. Solar power leader. Jamaica is aggressively moving toward green energy. The Wigton Wind Farm in Manchester is the largest of its kind in the English-speaking Caribbean, helping the island reduce its dependence on imported oil. The blue economy. Jamaica is a leader in protecting the Caribbean Sea. The Oricabessa Bay Fish Sanctuary has seen a 1,000% increase in fish biomass since it was established, proving that local community-led conservation works. The king of street art, if you walk through Fleet Street in Kingston, you'll see the Paint Jamaica project. It's a massive community-led initiative that turned abandoned buildings into a world-class art gallery, changing the narrative of inner-city neighborhoods. The Jamaican Diaspora Day. Every June 16th, the country celebrates National Diaspora Day to honor the millions of Jamaicans abroad who contribute to the nation's growth through remittances and cultural advocacy. High life expectancy. Despite being a developing nation, Jamaica has a remarkably high life expectancy, averaging 74 to 76 years, which many attribute to the fresh diet of ground provisions and the active outdoor lifestyle of the rural areas. The brain drain to brain gain. A new generation of the diaspora is returning home to start tech companies, boutique hotels, and agricultural projects, mirroring the year of return movement seen in Ghana. Global logistics hub. Because of its strategic location, the Port of Kingston is one of the busiest transshipment hubs in the Western Hemisphere, acting as a gatekeeper for ships coming through the Panama Canal. The pudding tradition. In the hills of St. Anne, you'll find Hella Top, Hella Bottom, and Hallelujah in the middle. This is the local name for sweet potato pudding baked in a coal pot with fire on top and below, creating a heavenly caramelized center. The world's rarest iguana. The Jamaican iguana was once thought to be extinct until a small population was discovered in the Hell's Higher Hills in 1990. It is now the focus of one of the world's most successful reptile conservation programs. The liberty of youth. Jamaica's Gen Z is blending traditional reggae with modern trap and Afrobeats, often called traphall, ensuring the island's musical output remains fresh and competitive. The Jamaican Patois Bible. In 2012, to mark the 50th year of independence, the New Testament was translated into Jamaican Patois, D.I. Jamaican New Testament, a historic step in recognizing Patois as a formal, written language. The spirit of volunteering. Jamaica has a deep tradition of Labor Days where communities come together to paint schools, fix roads, and clean beaches for free, a concept known as working for the community. W.I. Lickle but W.I. Talawa. This is perhaps the most important Jamaican proverb. It means we are small, but we are mighty. It summarizes the entire history and spirit of the island. The eternal welcome. No matter where you go in the world, if you see a Jamaican, you've found a friend. The final fact is the most lasting one. Jamaica isn't just a place on a map. It's a state of mind that celebrates life, rhythm, and the unwavering pursuit of freedom. 200 facts. 200 rhythms of a land that feels like home to the world. From the misty heights of the Blue Mountains to the turquoise pulse of the Caribbean Sea, we have journeyed through the history, the flavor, and the unbreakable spirit of Jamaica. We've seen that Jamaica is more than just a destination, it is a vibration. If this journey stirred your soul or brought a little island sunshine to your day, please give this video a like. It helps the legend of the land of wood and water reach even further. To stay connected with us and to discover more wonders from every corner of the globe, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Your support allows us to keep telling these stories. Thank you for watching, for listening, and for sharing in the One Love spirit. Until our next adventure, walk good and take care.